Hey y'all, welcome to episode 15 of the Prolific Shift Sunday Sit Down. I'm Janae Peters. I'm the founder, CEO, creative director, content creator, executive assistant, all those things for Prolific Shifts, which is really getting up and going. We are at episode 15, so each Sunday I take a minute to offer a line of inquiry, not because it's the only question you should be asking yourself this week, but because it's what I can do. It's an offering that I have as I work on my own shifts and transformations, and something that I hope anyone who's listening and who's interested might benefit from as well. Last week's question was, what is your mantra? And the ask for you was to really be thinking about how it's working and living in your life, and to take note of that. So this week, this is actually not in the same vein. So I say almost every week, and this new question is in the same vein. This one's not quite, because usually the inquiry that is offered in this space is asking you to kind of bring something out that's like maybe something anew. This is asking you to maybe do a little bit of the same, but in a different direction. So you're bringing out some of your experience as an offering to someone else. So this week's question is, what advice do you have for others about how to live their best lives? Part of why this one is tricky, I think, or anytime anyone is asked to give advice or what do you advise on this, I think about how our various limited understandings and experiences make it hard to give advice to others in their, in their different perspectives, with their different backgrounds. But there's something to be said about sharing what you have learned to be true, right? Or what you have experienced and what folks might learn from. As an educator, it's kind of what we're doing all the time. Like, people are asking us about things that we have learned or known, and we're sharing that. And I would say in this new model of education I've been working in, what we're doing more is understanding different possibilities, asking questions of different situations and environments, and then creating the space where folks can explore that. So I think Prolific Shifts is still extending on that idea, but this space that I hope to create today is an offering of different people's senses of how we might approach a best life or highest self situation. So I hope you take that for what it is, not an end all be all type of advice, but a here and now and a gift and a sharing and a presencing offering. When I think about my answer to this, so advice I would give folks about how to live their best lives, the easy one is the one I've been talking about for weeks. And if you have known me for a long time, you know I have talked about this for years and years and years, that find your people. That's always going to be advice for me. But when I really think about living your best life, like our own personal best lives, I think about, I think one of the things that's most important is figuring out what we need to do to heal, or what area we might need to address in terms of healing. So even though we might not know how we need to heal, but we might have a sense of what needs to heal and an ability to be honest about that. And I think that that's key to figuring out what a best life is for any of us. I think we can live good lives. We can live fine lives and smart lives and rich lives even without having healed. But I think that when we work towards healing or really try to understand our inner workings, we set ourselves up for abundance and for overflow. And so if I had to give advice in that way, that's the advice I would give. In my personal world, one way that is featuring and functioning is me really asking of myself, like, they're just simple things, like things I don't even think about, like, why have I covered myself up for so long? What is that about? Is that just how I like to wear clothes, or is there something behind that? Or when I ask myself why I don't brag on myself, like what is that stemming from? Is it really from a place of humility, or is it from a place of fear? So again, asking ourselves about those areas help us, I think, or any area can help us to understand like what healing might look like for us, or might help us to uncover ways in which we need to heal. And I think that's a major step to best life living. And because I have limited experience, right? And because my offering might not be the thing that speaks to you. The other week, I had a pancake breakfast at good old Bob Evans with some of my family members, which was a continued celebration of my birthday. And I went around the table because also, if you know me, you know that any interaction with me ends up with this. Like, there's a lot of inquiry in every engagement with me, if you let me, if we get to that space. And that week I went around the table as a birthday gift they could offer to me, and asked folks like what advice they have for people in terms of living their best lives. And I asked my nieces and nephews and also my parents. And so,
Be yourself.
be yourself. Say it again.
Be yourself.
Why do you choose that one?
Because it's boring to be other people.
Live your life with excitement.
Live your life with excitement. Okay.
How to live your best life? I would say go for what you know and also learn what you don't know. Be interested.
Yeah.
I say to live your life with happiness. Find things that you find joy in and make a point to do them.
Yay!
I would say live your life as true as you possibly can, and that's being true to yourself, true to others.
Okay, this is not your video.
Be individual and independent.
What a good time. I like what your shirt says. You agree with that? Have a good time? Okay. I also want to share, I want to share what they said just so you have something else to work with, and would love to hear what you all come up with. So again, this week's question is, what advice would you give others about how to live their best lives? And then the action item for this week is to ask some of your people, the people in your world who you love and trust, or people you want to know more about or who you're curious about. Ask them that question and see what comes up as part of your learning about each other and of your conversation. I think we learn a lot about people when we engage in reflective inquiry, and I hope that that is the truth for you this week. All right, y'all. So this has been quite lovely. Looking forward to seeing y'all on 10/10. And in the meantime, please have a beautiful week. I hope it's filled with everything you've hoped for and more, and that you bring intention to bringing that into fruition. And yeah, I'll check in again soon. All right, peace. If you liked anything you heard, please don't hesitate to comment, like, subscribe, or support in any of these ways, and especially through your love and care. Peace, and I'll see y'all again soon.